This podcast is a member of WildGamesProductions.com and D20Radio.com.
They came from the game table, dice bags in hand,
We have one brain that we share between us.
to talk about role-playing for all across the land.
And you'll like it.
The original, then basic, then one they scoured.
Kinda grabs you by the boo-boo, don't it?
To bring AD&D to the second power.
You want me to put the hammer down?
Welcome to THACO's Hammer, the best damn AD&D second edition podcast ever.
And by the time I got home and I got in front of my computer and started playing it, yeah, I would drive off the road because I would fall asleep. I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't think I need to be playing this. No.
No, I guess you don't. I don't know. Hiya, folks. Old Man Grognard here. Remember me? It is time for THACO's Hammer number, episode 58.
And
We love the ladies.
of course we do.
I use my Barry White voice. And this is GM Glenn, of course, amongst my other personas, and that is GM Brian.
Yeah,
Brian.
I was about to say you were having a bit of an identity crisis. Hey, folks, what's going on out there?
And we have our man on the street, on the road, on the spot, DM Full-On Gamer.
Greetings, Gamer Nation. How you doing?
The man in the field, where he should be.
The man on the road, yes.
The man on the road.
Channeling his inner snowman.
Yes, sir.
Y'all
And
come back now here.
Hits and crits coming up, folks.
Well,
One thought he was invincible, the other thought he could fly.
so
They were both wrong.
Son of a bitch is dug in like an Alabama tick.
You're hit. You're bleeding, man.
I ain't got time to bleed.
We're sending somebody in to negotiate.
Anybody else want to negotiate?
Hits and crits. Hits and crits. How are you, Brian?
I'm doing okay. Oh, by the way, Happy New Year, gentlemen.
Yeah, you too. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and this is a heck of a way to start 2020, let me tell you.
Well, yeah. Let's not even get into that. But anyway, let's see. What have I been doing? Been playing a lot of BattleTech lately. The Harebrained Schemes turn-based game, and I'm having a lot of fun. You know, I mean, it's hearkening me back to my days where I was playing it on the tabletop. You know, it's got its limitations, but it's decent enough. Been working on some D&D projects here and there. My son made out like a bandit for Christmas. Let's see. Yeah, well, considering we haven't gotten together since like second week in November, yeah, I turned 51 in December.
Yay.
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Let's see. Aside from that, you know, working like the proverbial dog, I just got over the flu. You can probably still hear it in my voice. My voice isn't quite 100% yet. Aside from that, you know, just trying to keep everything on an even keel. That's pretty much what I've been doing.
Full-on report. Isn't that the way you do it?
I have, I haven't been doing much gaming. I did a little bit of update for the most recent updates for Star Wars: The Old Republic. At one time, I was near a place where I could get some internet.
Really?
But I have been binging on some hard sci-fi. I got through watching a whole bunch of other odds and ends and started watching The Expanse.
Uh-oh.
And, that's awesome.
Yeah, my girlfriend loves that show.
And, of course, did my due diligence and got my pre-opening night viewing of Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker in. Finished watching The Mandalorian. Can't talk anything because there's people who haven't watched it yet on the show, so no spoilers.
Oh,
damn you.
That's a shot.
Well,
that's a little bit.
That's gonna. Yeah, remember that. Hey, remember the contortions I was going through when you hadn't seen the first Avengers movie yet?
Yeah, no, I did see the first Avenger. You're talking about the third one. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the first one.
No, not the first Avengers movie. I saw that when it came out. That's when I actually
Yeah.
had a little bit of time and a little
Well,
bit of money to do that kind of thing.
That's probably because I saw it before you. So, okay.
Well, true, but yeah.
Okay.
I did see it relatively, shall we say, quickly. It's just now I have a 5-year-old that's eating everything in sight, and yeah, I don't have the time and the money to go do those things anymore.
Yeah, well, we have a 16-year-old here reading everything in sight.
It
just gets worse.
Yeah, I know. Well, never mind.
Put the two of them together, let one babysit the other, you pick, and then that frees you both up for some gaming.
Yeah, okay. I'm okay with that.
It's going on 2.5 to 3 months without a game because of various schedules and the holidays that always mess everything up anyway.
Yep. Absolutely.
I did get us started gaming in with the Pathfinder Society before I came off of disability, so
okay.
I did get some of the last games in that way.
Well, Gage gets more game time than I do now because he's got that Sunday 5e game, and it's like, how does it? I introduced you to gaming at age 9. How does it that you can game more than I can now?
Because he's 16 and he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to adult quite yet.
And he discovered Roll20.
Oh boy.
It's like every time I turn around now, it says, "Oh, I got a game starting in an hour on Roll20." Okay, whatever.
You're just jealous now.
He's trying to find a Saturday game.
Well, he should be able to.
Or a weekday game, like a Wednesday game. He says, "Well, the guy on the Sunday game is going to play on Wednesdays over in Game HQ," and I said, "Oh, well, who's going to take you? I ain't." You know?
Yeah, not during the week, kiddo.
Well, I don't mind it during the week, but it's like noon to 4. That cuts right in the middle of my day.
It's Oklahoma, and he's 16. Get the license, and
he's working on it. He's working on it.
Find him a beater car for like $500, and let him get a job and figure it out.
Let's see, Christmas. What they got for Christmas was us ordering Disney Plus because we're broke this Christmas. So we ordered Disney Plus for him. I sent Brian a 50 movie pack of martial arts movies because Becky said, why? I says, hey, I got to send something to somebody.
Oh, I appreciate that greatly.
Because we're broke.
Yeah, it's awesome. I looked at the list of the movies on the back. I'm like, ooh, I remember this. I remember that. I remember this one. But it's sitting in my entertainment center now. If I can get a couple of hours every day.
I really want to watch. What's the Fred Williamson.
Oh yeah. You have no idea, sir.
3. Well, I watched that Ninja Wars 1, 2, and 3, and I'm still going, what the hell went on there?
Yeah, some of the plots are hard to follow. No, the Fred Williamson stuff back in the Jim Kelly stuff back in the day. That was stuff in my neighborhood that was like, if you had to go watch, you had to go to the movie theater and see it. Like movies like 3 the Hard Way, things like that. And we would be acting that stuff out for like months afterwards because those were our heroes.
The thing I found out was if you want to avoid most all the melodramatic crap, you avoid any movie that has the word ninja in the title.
Oh, please. Those are some awesome movies. Enter the Ninja, Return of the Ninja.
Yep.
Yeah, but they're half soap opera.
Don't do Hollywood Ninja. That one sucks.
Yeah, that was bad.
My favorite one right now is Wu-Tang Magic Kick. Because the guy kicks all the way up to his head, and then he does this, like he waves his foot around and slaps him and stuff with his foot.
American Ninja and American Ninja 2. Go see those. Those are also awesome.
Oh, they went to like American Ninja 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Well, they traded out the actor, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's
I don't think they put that Wang Wang movie on there. It might be on the other one.
Yeah, I'll have to look into it.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the title of it, but it's bizarre. It says he's a midget and he does martial arts. Well, what passes for martial arts? I'm not saying it's not as it's not as bad as Rudy Ray Moore Dolomite martial arts, but it's about halfway there. You know what I'm saying? So
I get
that
you. I
gives,
get you.
but it's fun. It's fun. It's bizarre and fun to watch at the same time.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else? I got a $50 gift certificate from a friend for my
Mhm.
game store, so I ended up buying the board game Horrified. Everybody should play it.
Right.
I've been working on Gangbusters with Mark Hunt, putting stuff in. And I made a vow to myself this year, a resolution that I'm going to try and keep. No fantasy this year.
Can I ask you why? I saw that on Facebook and I was like, I basically took me 10 minutes to get out from under the big question mark that fell on me. Why? Why?
Well, for one, I want to give some love to the other games that I like that I don't get to give love to, like Savage Worlds and Gangbusters and Index Card RPG and these other ones.
Okay.
And number
So
two,
Brian, that means that we have to tempt him with an online game of continuing our online D&D just to say, you're going to break your resolution. And
No,
here's how.
he didn't break it because he said he wasn't going to GM it. He never said a
yeah,
word
I
about
said I
playing it.
wasn't going to. I didn't say I wasn't going to play it.
There we go.
Which opens the door for Brian to continue the Marvel superheroes thing, but that's beside the point. That's beside the point.
Oh my goodness, that thing.
I still have that character sheet, Gathering Dust.
Yeah, I still have all that stuff too.
But the other reason I did it is because Becky asked me at one time, and I remember this. Can't you play something other than fantasy with all that, like, demons and stuff in it? Because the satanic panic dies hard in some people.
Yeah, the satanic panic still lives on 30 to 40 years later.
There's still
Introduce her to Conan. They don't even have real magic. It's just a lot of killing.
Yeah, it's a lot of
we got astonishing swordsmen, so it's the same thing.
Exactly.
So that's my resolution this year. Besides, it gives me more time to work on stuff like Gangbusters and things like that. I've got the new edition of Savage Worlds coming in the mail. So I got to do a review on that, which means I've got to finish this Blades in the Dark here. I'm having trouble with it.
Right.
It sounds like a game that Full On would really like. Full On, do you like? Would you like a fantasy version of like Peaky Blinders or The Wire?
Not really. Not really. I've done that already. I've played Undermountain a few times, and we did it through the Yawning Portal was our end to that. So I'm not really that enamored of the whole cityscape adventure. I want to get out and do things.
Okay, well,
and the sewers are not the sewers and the underworld are just not all that cracked up for me.
Right. Well, I was on Discord chat, and one of the guys said, "You really like this game? What's your address?" So I gave my address, and I forgot about it. And then it showed up on my doorstep, and I'm going to take a third try at reading because I have to review it because I owe him a review because of my motto: I will review anything you send me. And so far, nobody sent me any porn, so that's good.
You haven't then done a review of the Edition Wars, then, have you?
No, I don't have a copy of it.
You don't have a copy of it yet?
No.
I gave you a copy.
No, you didn't. You mean a physical? Are you talking a physical copy?
Yeah.
I don't remember getting a PDF of it.
No, it's a card game. You won't get a PDF of it.
Well, some places do that too, but I have not got a. I'm not got. Sure, I'll grab Gage. I say, here, let's play this. I mean, I played it before, but Gage hasn't. So I got to get through this, and I want to do a review. I'm going to be fair about it.
Okay.
I'll get you a copy. It's nearby. They're just down in friggin' Denton, Texas. I can get one sent up to you.
Okay. Well, thanks. And that is about it. By the way, what happened with your dice thing?
The container ship is on its way to the port of LA.
That sounds like my my map book thing. Oh, by the way,
other container ships have arrived at other ports, and England has started receiving their shipments. So it'll be there probably January, February-ish.
Okay. By the way, Tanner Yarrow, who did the immersive battle maps, that book, those two big books I got with the maps in them, He's now working. I think he may get ready to kickstart Volume 2, which is all sci-fi maps.
Ooh, I like that. Solar systems and buildings and
You got it.
I like it. I like that
Dockyards
idea.
and industrial facilities and labs and warehouses and
Oh
things you can
yeah.
use for modern games and sci-fi games and
Oh
spy
yeah.
games.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, if I could pull up the URL, I'll throw it up here for you guys. But anyway, I just thought I'd give you a shout out on that. Anyway, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
And so do we have any emails?
Well, we've got emails, that's for sure. All
Well,
right.
good.
Alrighty then. Let's go to this one to I think is a new emailer to the show. This is from Jamie.
Uh-huh.
Okay, he says, "Hello DMs. I happen
Hi.
Hi. I happened to find your podcast by chance while looking for any podcasts I could find that covered the Birthright campaign setting.
Uh-huh.
After Yeah, and we did do Birthright, by the way. I think that was like episode like 9 or 10 or something like that. After that, I started picking the episodes that caught my interest, and now I just need to listen to every episode, I think. Oh, you poor soul. We've hooked another one, gentlemen.
Oh boy.
Okay, let's see. I was given the basic and expert sets in 1982 for Christmas, but could never really,
Yay.
yeah, but could never really make heads or tails of them. Wow. I was 9 years old and I didn't know anyone else who played. From there, I played a 1E slash 2E hybrid in the late 80s and early 90s. I
Right.
finally bought the 1E and 2E hardcovers in the mid to late 90s and gained a truer understanding of the rules. Yeah, 1E is not exactly an easy read when it comes to rules, but I will leave it at that.
Yes, it is.
Boy,
No, it's
is it
not.
Okay.
fun.
Yeah, you have to take a couple of courses in Gygaxian to truly understand it. But anyway, to continue.
I guess I was born speaking it fluently because I had no problems when I was 8.
Ugh, I had a lot of problems in 1982 when I was 13. It took me like 2 years of constant study to kind of figure it out.
Right.
But okay, continue. Since third edition came out, I've played nothing but 3E, 3.5, and Pathfinder.
Ouch.
At this point, I'm tired of feats, skill points, scaling numbers, class archetype obliteration, and rules bloat. I don't blame him for that if he's gone that path. Um, as a result of listening to yours and other AD&D and original D&D podcasts, I don't have a desire to play anything after second edition, with the
Good for
exception
you.
yeah, with the exception of my existing group, which runs 5e for now.
Oh well.
Yeah, well, I'll take that as a partial win. I've bought some of the players' DM's options book along with Swords and Wizardry, and I'm becoming re-energized. I'd love to hear your takes on converting between second edition AD&D and the older editions. Please keep up the great work, Jamie. Okay.
Oh, I love being patted on the back.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a way to kick off 2020. Um, Jamie,
Well,
go. Let me start. Let me start because I've only got something really
You go
rapid to say.
right ahead, boy.
Um, Adapting between basic, expert, companion. When you start getting into the companion rules, it might start getting a little tough. But yeah, it's not that hard to go from basic to second edition. As a matter of fact, in the rules cyclopedia, they've got um, a little conversion thing in the back for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
When first edition to second edition is almost completely interchangeable. It's not hard at all. It requires a little bit of translation when it comes to dragons and giants and the extra planers. But aside from that, that's not that hard either. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's going from the basic editions. It's not hard at all. It just takes a little bit, just a little bit of math, a little bit of converting, a little bit of condensing. But yeah, it's not difficult. Vaughn.
well, it's not really that hard at all. I mean, especially when you're talking, first and second edition conversions, it's they're mathematically interchangeable. There's not even that much you have to do. The difference in the monsters you were talking about is just a different understanding of the power scope you're dealing with. Things that you thought you could deal with at eighth level in first edition are not the things you're going to be dealing with as eighth level in second edition.
Correct.
Because they just realized the difference in challenge, and you can see that illustrated if you were to say take an original House House of Strahd,
Mm-hmm.
and an original not actually House of take an original Ravenloft.
Yep, I6.
And set that down right next to House of Strahd.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be the exact same module. They are not
No,
by
they are
any
not.
stretch of the imagination. And then if you really want to embarrass your brain, set it next to the third edition version of Ravenloft that they came out with. You can see the scope and scale and power creep, and there's a reason they would say this is for what 6 to 8 characters.
Mm-hmm.
Of X to X level, and then they jumped it to X to X level because they realized, oh wait, Strahd's going to kill everybody.
Yep.
And then you put.
And they would say things like the 3 dragons in the foyer. Well, 3 red dragons in the foyer is a little bit harsh. Let's make them golems that look like dragons because they aren't real dragons. Because that would just be stupid.
Yeah, 3 second edition red dragons. Yeah, go ahead.
And then you set Curse of Strahd out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If you really want to go crazy.
But I just mentioned those as something to use, so you can see how the scales slide when you're dealing with what can deal with what,
right,
and how you need to understand it.
Yeah.
And of course, that whole gamer size group creep that they artificially threw into their calculations for adventures, where, I mean, if you're a first edition, second edition, basic edition player, you understand struggle, you understand effort, you understand risk. Right. If you're a pure 3E, 4E, 5E clickbait gamer, then it's, what, that's easy. We can do it. What, that's easy. The 4 of us can do it. What, that's easy. The 4 of us can do it. That's not how it's supposed to be, guys. I'm sorry. You need to have risk for reward. You need to have challenge. You need to have effort required to think your way through a problem or beat your way through a problem, not just number crunching. We're going to cakewalk this.
I looked at the first, the original Ravenloft module, and then I looked at House of Strahd, and when I saw they did like 3 separate write-ups of Strahd in increasing power level, I thought something's off here.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
why do I need 3 different write-ups?
In the original,
you need 3 different write-ups because that's such an iconic adventure that everybody wants to do it, but not everybody can at the same time or at the same power level. So you need to have it scaled in scope so that, well, this group can deal with, we're going to run this level of the adventure, or we're going to run this level of the adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got to... Go ahead.
I was going to say, just to reinforce Folan's point, I mean, if you want to take a more direct or even a grander scope or a larger scope comparison, take G1 through 3 against the Giants in first edition and compare it to against the Giants second edition. Where if you took a party of like 8th to 10th level characters and you ran them through the second edition against the Giants, they get killed because the Giants have that much of a power upgrade. A Hell Giant now has like 50% more hit dice than a first edition Hill Giant, and so on and so forth up the line. That's why they made that. They took that. Took the original Against the Giants module and they made a campaign around it, to where if you go into the region as first level characters, you're going up against the orcs that are like the cannon fodder for the Giants, and then you go to like ogres and hobgoblins, and you keep stepping up slowly as your characters gain in level until they get around 14th or 15th level when they can actually start going after the Giants themselves. So that's why I love that module. I think it's ingenious. But yeah, I mean, it's not hard. I mean, in the end, it's not hard. It will take you a little bit of effort, a little bit of mathematical juggling, but once you know the numbers, no matter what edition you're looking at, it becomes second nature. I continue to do it. That's why I do.
You know how?
I was just gonna say that's why I do all the classic module adaptations. I've taken, let's see, B5
A1 through 4,
Yes.
the GDQ series, the U series. These are great adventures, even basic and expert adventures that, as Curse of Xanathon, turn it into a second edition or a third edition adventure. They're epic, they're fun, they're
Yes.
well written. They have all the limits and direction you need and all the room and adventure modification you can choose if you so do.
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
let me tell. Go ahead. No,
go ahead.
no.
It's your turn.
Just
it's your
no,
turn.
it's just an anecdote. That's all.
Okay. I mean,
I wanted to finish the intellectual discussion
with a little bit of humble, with a little bit of humble bragging. That's why so many people ask me for my adaptation of Castle Amber, because I said it on a few different episodes of our podcast. I've talked about it on message boards, and I get emails saying, "Hey, can I have that adaptation of Castle Amber?" I mean, sure, no problem. And and I've gotten more than a few people coming back saying this is a great adaptation for second edition. I was like, yeah, because it needs it, and I'm pretty good at it. I mean, I've done it for several modules. I love doing it. You know,
well,
it's fun.
Why else would Goodman Games, who does Dungeon Crawl Classics, why else would they sell? They do 5e rewrites of like Keep on the Borderlands. They did Isle of Dread for
did.
5 years. I hear they're going to do the Giant series.
And the funny part is they actually, for several of their modules, they did first edition adaptations. Going from third edition or 3.5 and going back down to first edition and making an adventure out of it that way. And from there, you can do whatever you want with it.
By the way, I just want to say, I played through Curse of Strahd. We made him look like a pussy.
Yeah.
We defeated him like 3 or 4 times. He even charmed one guy 3 times, and we still beat him.
Hey.
Then when we went to Tomb Annihilation, he tried to come back and get some revenge, and we stomped his ass to the ground again.
That's because you guys are veteran players. You know what everyone does. This is part of not only in-game characters learning how to work with each other and knowing each other's strengths and weaknesses and, working as a team, but this is also the players learning how to play as a team.
Look up the phrase "well-oiled machine." You'll see a picture of our characters.
Standing over the corpses of Tiamat and Loth.
Now you're going back to my days in power gaming. Yeah, when we would go into Q1 several times and kill Loth in her lair and take the spider ship, which it turned out to where the DM started putting science fiction in it. Go ahead.
Any group that, when he gets invited into a match, any group that would beat him so badly, it forces him to walk through the front door with a sunlight spell on it just to get away from us. That's saying something.
Yeah.
So but I was the least of it. I mean, I was playing a barbarian, but I mean, tactics. What's that?
Yeah. All you have to do is deal damage and take damage. That's your role.
And worship my bear god. Yes.
Exactly.
and race dinosaurs.
Exactly.
In Schult. Yes.
Yeah. In your spare time. Yes.
In my spare time. Yes. So anyway. Thank you for
Jamie.
that email.
Yeah, thanks, Jamie.
That was, thanks. What else we got?
Okay, we got one from DM Neff. This one is going to take a minute, so buckle in, guys. Because he's got some interesting questions. I think we covered it in like various episodes of Magic Fingers and maybe even DM Brainstorm, but
what was his name again?
DM Neff.
DM Neff.
Yeah,
Neff.
Regular emailer to the show.
Go ahead.
All right, here we go. Hey guys, it's DM Neff at it again and looking for sage advice from the council. This time we're talking about Mage Tower.
Kill it with fire. There's my advice.
Yeah, you use plenty of silver. Yes.
One fireball will take care of it. There you go.
Okay, let's see. This time we're talking about Mage Towers and their ilk. My group of players, most of whom are veterans of many a bygone session, are playing high-level characters with 2,250,000 experience points to split into whatever class combo is desired. So I have a player with one class, but most have two or even three. Point is, they are at a level which they should have strongholds, thieves' guilds, fortresses, and wizards' towers. So the question has been raised to me, of course, greedy players and their questions. Where's our facility, man? And I will admit I have nothing against them having such a thing. Most of the rules for this I pulled straight out of the book, Spells and Magic, page 63 and onward. Yeah, that's actually a good place to start. So most of what I need to know is covered by the good folks at TSR in the first place. Here's where it gets complicated.
Okay.
This is the low end of our level spectrum. We're all returning to the game and getting a feel back after a hiatus. Everyone prefers higher end play, higher than what they already have. None of which is a problem for a group where disgustingly gluttonous power role players. At least you admit it. At least you admit it. Let's see. We played so much low level it's lost some luster for us. Yeah, I can sort of identify with that, but that's neither here nor there. But that's just so I'm clear. So when I say this isn't a problem so much as me getting ahead of the curve. The heart of this email and my question comes down to this. If you're a high-end level spellcaster looking to protect your wizard's tower or the fortress / tower / guild hall you set up with a few members of your party, what magical protections would a mage place on that structure and how would he go about it by the books? Many of my players have just said they'd wish for it, which is possible, but I'm looking into getting into the nitty gritty of it.
Okay.
Well, I'm not done. Oh, I'm not done.
Okay.
I'm not done. What spells are being used, what effects are being asked for, and most of all, practically, what effects does a wizard need and want to cover in his tower? I have a few, but I have a few that I've thought of thusly. Oh, he has some examples, but I would like to get an idea of what the Hammerlord's take is on the subject. As you can tell, I'm having to hold these guys back on a leash because I'm sure they have a lot of opinions.
Neff.
But
Okay, Neff.
hold it. Go ahead. I mean, he's got a couple of examples. Let me go through them real quick.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
You're getting some interference in there.
Okay, yeah, I hear that. He's got some stuff going on in the background. Penis. Here are my examples, and always thanks, guys. Keep on killing it. The exterior walls of the structure is covered in a permanent prismatic wall. Holy crap.
Wow.
Any attempt to breach the interior of the building or the surrounding property through means as such of a blink, teleport, dimension door, similar magic effect are already automatically teleported into the tower cell. This is the only means to bypass this if the caster bears a specifically enchanted token which allows such spells to function normally within the confines of the facility. Wow. This is really high level stuff. Divination, scrying spells are distorted, concealing the interior, exterior, and surrounding mile from divinations and scrying attempts, distorting such attempts, and allowing the caster of potential to learn of the scrying attempt and who is doing it and where they are if they are on the same plane. The offices, private corridors, and war room are protected by a private sanctum spell, preventing others from picking up on conversations from within. All plains, mountains, forests, swamps, and river terrains are covered in a combination of gust of wind, web, and fog effects to distort and confuse those who approach without a specially enchanted token which bears safe and unhindered passage via foot travel to the complex. Interior rooms and hallways are under the effect of magic mouths, which serve to alarm personnel of approaching intruders. P.S. Got my players listening to your podcast, so I'm spreading the good word.
Okay. Neff, three words. Guards and wards.
Absolutely.
Several times.
Yes. Another 3 words. The Castle Guide. Use the Castle Guide and use it judiciously.
That is a good book.
So, permanency. Remember the cost of permanency. For all that stuff you want to have, you've got to spend permanency on it.
Yeah.
A wish will not let you enable all that stuff magically just because you want it. Because there is no 9th level magic that makes that kind of thing go into effect. You're talking at that point about enabling a mythal. You need 10th level elf magic, mythal magic, to be able to pull all of that off for such a massive geographic area. And when those things break, you end up with Myth Draenor. So that's the scale it's scope of what you're looking at these adventurers doing.
How many magic missiles
so
do you get?
Keep that in mind just for perspective's sake.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of it is, yes, guards and wards. Yes, you're going to do all the different shielding spells. Heck, if you want to know what epic level adventurers holding their own stronghold is like, you need to watch the anime Overlord 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
And that will give him a scope of the kind of, we're at max level, where's our strongholds, where's our people, where's the things we're doing? I mean, at one point I had a character take over the orcs, all the orc tribes north of the Moon Sea, and move them in mass to invade the Honorok.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
We're
wow,
playing
the desert.
We're playing at Game of Thrones level play at that point, where we're moving nations, crushing the Black Network, and taking it over for our own end.
you guys have co-opted the Zentarim.
And working on the Wizards of Things.
We killed them.
No, he co-opted the Red Wizards. He killed the Zentarim.
No. We were in competition with the Red Wizards. We co-opted all of the orc tribes and marched them away from the Dales and into the Honorok.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Jeez, this is epic level stuff for sure.
And when you're dealing with this, I mean, and that's because several of us ended up with strongholds just because of level. Others of us ended up with strongholds due to drawing from a deck of many things.
Mm-hmm.
And they consolidated us into an area to the north of Mythdraenor, and we had to start consolidating our power after messing with that place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wow.
And just from that experience on the player side of things, it can be a headache. On the GM side of things, we gave him ulcers, literally.
We gave him ulcers. Wow.
You know what, Brian?
Yes.
That's a good email.
Yeah.
And thank you, Neff. I appreciate it.
But yeah,
Hey,
yep. But scale back their expectations, pay them some money, get them into the debt of this is what it's like to actually run organizations and own strongholds.
Mm-hmm.
And if they really want all that magic shit, they need to start looking at, you can't just wish that into place. You need to enact the mythal, and that will probably kill half of you.
Yeah. And
so,
then you start treating with extra planar powers, and then yes, you do have Mythdraenor.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you just tell them to put their stronghold in the middle of a swamp and it sinks? They can be the Legion of Doom.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
And down, fell over, and sank into the swamp. And we built another, and it kept standing.
Brian?
Yes, sir.
How many emails and voicemails do we have?
Plenty. I got one. I've got like one more with just a very, not even a short question. It's more like a thank you, but that's about it. I mean, we can stop. We can just stop it there.
I was like, can we make this an email show? Because this is fun.
Well, we did an email show already. Very recently too.
Oh, because you released it very recently.
No, it's still in the can. That was like That was like 156.
Okay.
157 was voicemails.
Very well. Let's do one more then, and then call it a day.
All right, no problem.
Don't go away, folks. I don't mean we're ending the episode.
Yeah, we still have the meat and potatoes to take on. We're just doing the appetizers at the moment. Okay, we got an email from Matt Moore, and he says, "Lads, he must be across the pond to start with that. Recently discovered your podcast, and it's all I never needed and more." Oh, jeez.
Well, it was all we had ever needed to do it. So go ahead.
Back when we started in 2010. Yeah, 10th anniversary coming up.
Oh my God.
Let's see. I enjoy the format and the give and take and discussions. I also wanted to say thank you for the heads up on Madeline Hale's Table Fables and Table Fables 2 that were mentioned. I picked up
books.
Yes. Yeah, I really like them. I still need to buy them, but yeah, they're really cool. I picked up both, and they'll definitely be invaluable in running games along with being enjoyable reading. Thanks for all that you do, Matt Moore.
Right on.
Right
So
on.
we're golden.
Yep.
Okay. Good night, folks. No, wait a minute.
When did this turn into an episode of Animaniacs?
Anyway, so if you guys want to email us, the drill. THACOshammer@gmail.com. Hey.
And we do have a voicemail that is area code 405-806-0555.
And all I can say is, so let us go on to people skills.
Wish we have time to bear them, fellas.
Hell with them fellas. Buzzards gotta eat, same as worms.
How can you shoot women, children? Easy. You just don't lead them so much. Ain't war hell?
When shall I find a new adversary so close to my own level?
Try the local sewer.
People skills.
People skills. The Amazon.
Yep.
From the Complete Fighter's Handbook Kit and the Monstrous Companion Animal Annual Volume 4, page 49.
Goodness,
Yeah, it is quite an animal, isn't it?
Yeah.
The book, not the. It's like, welcome to the hashtag Mish2 show. So,
I wouldn't go that far. Come on now.
Yeah.
If I was gonna do that, I would get like Julie and Allie and a couple other female gamers and really go do a deep dive on that stuff. But no, I ain't doing that. Okay. Basically, the Amazon kit is more or less a woman warrior from a male-dominated society. Blah 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 blah. It goes into a lot of the history of Amazons and so forth. And I have to say that most of the kits in the Complete Fighter's Handbook, which was the first Splat book, a lot of them were just flavor. There were a few like the Myrmidon and the Samurai and a couple like that, which actually had a little bit of crunch to them, but the Amazon didn't really have it. It was more a role playing kit than it was actually any sort of serious benefits or hindrances for a class. This I played this kit when I played a ranger in a Forgotten Realms campaign, and she didn't have a stat above 15, and so she had to be literally the Swiss Army knife of the party. But the special. Go ahead.
No, you're finishing the.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
The benefits of the kit is more just along the lines of if you're in a civilization where female warriors are rare, they tend to, they more or less tend to underestimate the Amazon. So with your first attack, you get +3 to hit and +3 to damage, and that's pretty much it. They get a -3 reaction penalty from male-dominated societies and so forth and so on. Like I said, it didn't have a lot of crunch to it. It was more of a strictly role-playing kit, but it was okay. It was all right.
In the compendium, I'm assuming it's just like a regular monster stat block write-up.
Yes, and they took directly from Xena Warrior Princess when they did it.
Well, so you can actually use some of that in your kit.
Yeah, exactly.
To fix it or however you want to change it.
Exactly. The Amazon, the quick write-up is the Amazon is like movement rate 15, hit dice 4 or more with D10s instead of D8s for hit points. They start pretty much at start there. They have of course high strength and dex and con. They do have unarmed combat. They get 2 attacks around 1 to 6 each. It's more or less they have martial arts. Like I said, somebody just saw an episode of Xena Warrior Princess and just said, "Okay, I'm putting this in polyhedron." That's exactly what they did. Most of them.
Basically, you get the increased movement rate feat. You get a martial arts or a unarmed combat feat, so you're not provoking attacks or opportunity with unarmed attacks, and a attack bonus in exchange for a reaction penalty. Yeah, it's not too bad.
No.
Wise is not horrible.
Yeah, I mean, I could actually.
And it's a fighter.
Yeah.
And you've got some starting free stuff. Okay.
Yep, exactly. I mean,
Going
and
freestyle.
they're all like, they all average like between 6 and 7 feet tall. I mean, you remember that Star Trek: The Next Generation episode, Angel One, where they go to a planet where the society is completely dominated by females, and they're all like 5'10" and up, and all the males are like 5'5", and it's stuff like that. That's another thing that I thought about when I thought about an Amazon thing. One of the things that I did was I took these and I put this in my Lost City second edition adaptation, which I'm still working on. The Warrior Maidens of Matarua. They're all Amazons. They all have like a your average warrior maiden is an Amazon from this entry. With of course higher level for the leader. I think the leader's like 9th level. Her champion, who has a they actually have a full martial art, which is of course just this really brutal style of combat, elbow strikes, knees, kicks to vital areas, such and so forth and so on, and but of course, being Amazons, they are dominant over males, so male PCs are going to have a problem with them until they prove themselves to the Amazons and so forth. Female characters, of course, are treated as long lost sisters and so forth. So it's a role playing opportunity.
I think it's funny the way they do. Like they say they're a female warrior in a male dominant society. I would assume they came from like Wonder Woman, the Isle of the Amazons or something from Greek mythology, where there was all women.
Yep.
And so it's interesting because they sell the prejudice, and I just find it interesting. I thought they'd be coming from like the Isle of the Amazons. That's all.
No, I agree. I mean, they go into that when they talk about the ecology. How they tend to be reclusive, or nomadic.
Right.
And they have their feelings about men. I mean, all you have to do is watch the new Wonder Woman movie with Gal Gadot in it, where they go through all of that, where she leaves the society to go into World War II era, Earth, and have to deal with
World War
One. It was World War One? I thought it was World War II.
No, that was World War One.
Oh, okay. Even so. Yeah, that's even so much more the point, because women were looked as the weaker sex back then, even more so back in like the early 20th century.
Right.
I mean, that stuff didn't really start changing until the shortly after all of that, when they got voting rights and so forth and so on. But when you look at like Wonder Woman, even back then, she was bigger than most men. She was a much better fighter, armed and unarmed, than most men. And the thing is, people did not quite know what to do with her because of that. And the one person who gave her a chance was was Captain America, which is funny to me. It was the same actor who played the guy, wasn't it? No. I'm thinking of another actor, but I thought it was kind of funny. But
is
anyway,
was this the Justice League movie or the
no, the first Wonder Woman movie?
Oh, okay.
Before they did Justice League, yeah.
Right, maybe I thought you were thinking Aquaman or somebody.
No. I can't remember the actor who played like the love interest / partner.
The Tony, Steve Rogers.
Yes. Oh, so it was him.
No.
Okay. I'm thinking of another actor.
We're talking the name. His name.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the actor's name.
The name carries over, but.
Oh, you mean they're both named Steve Rogers?
No.
That's funny thing.
No, I mean Cap and her love interest.
Well, no. I'm trying. Now, see, now I
Never
gotta
mind.
look it up. Hold on.
Never mind.
I got
Go
it. I
back.
got it.
Go back to your point.
But yeah, I mean, with with you know, with this actually gave the Amazon a little bit of teeth. You know what I mean? And
Right.
the way I look at the way I look at way I look at Amazons and so forth, it's to me it's not quite as crazy in D&D, even though it all depends on what way they decided to what how the DM views that kind of thing in their character. With me, it's sort of like women can be adventurers and warriors just as easily as men can. So who cares?
Yep.
That's just the way I look at it.
That would be no problem with me.
Oh, no, it was. Say again.
Steve Roger.
They're both Steves.
They're both
Trevor.
Steve Trevor.
Right. Yeah, wasn't that the name of the guy?
Captain Kirk.
Yeah, Chris Pine. Yes, Captain Kirk. Yes, which I found hilarious. Because he went from Captain Kirk to this.
He's no Lyle Wagner.
No, he's not. But But come on, Glenn. Who was back in the day?
George Hamilton?
No. George Hamilton. Yeah, Lyle Wagner. Yeah, God bless that man. He was awesome. Okay, yeah. But anyway, I've made my point, I think.
Okay. Yeah, you did.
Okay.
So try it out. I order you. No, I don't order you, but I try the Amazon kit. So it's usable with some modification from like the Monsters Compendium.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think so. You give a couple things like like they always have. They have unarmed attacks. One attack around at 1 to 6s. They always have something to fall back on. The thing is, it's more along the line. Go ahead.
Bonus skill slots, yeah, that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah. Just give them a couple of extra proficiencies and things like that, and it works from there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Final words, full on.
No, I've had several in my parties. I've played with them. I think I don't have any that have used the kit myself, but I've built basically characters that emulated that kit before the Fighter's Handbook ever came out. Okay. So everybody just wanted to do it, and that's how they did it.
Okay. Well, aside from D&D, I've had nobody's played it yet, but there is an Amazon, one of the race of men, an astonishing swordsman.
Mm-hmm.
But I have yet, and they treat it on Hyperborea. They treat it more like a traditional Amazon. There's actually a floating city of Amazons, and there's an Amazon city below that that they don't get along, because this one, I guess they thought the Queen of the Amazons was being a little too dictatorial, and so they had a revolution, so they left, and so there's some conflict there, interesting conflict, but it is a conflict.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. That's a good thing. So Amazon can't check it out. You can write to us about it at THACOshammer@gmail.com. Let us go on to Rule 0.
Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Hey, rules are, there ain't no rules.
Hey! Ladies! That was fun!
Thank you for a very enjoyable day.
Rule 0. Rule 0. Oh boy, playing opposite gender characters. I have never played an opposite gender character.
Seriously?
I've seen it done. I've seen it done well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe I'm too much of a guy. I don't know. I mean, if there was a situation where, somebody handed me a pre-gen at a con or something, and it was female, and I said, "Oh, you can change it to male." So I'll just play it the way it is.
Right.
That kind of thing. So, but I never think about them. That I think men are goofy enough to play.
I tend to agree. I mean, my whole thing is if I've got an idea for a character, um, most
And
of the
it's female.
time, yeah, most of the time it's so most of the time it's male, but yeah, every once in a while there's just a concept that I have that that it only can be done if the character's female. I never had a problem with doing either one. That now,
Right.
by the way, folks, for those who are thinking this, and I'm just gonna say this once, that has no impact on my sexuality. Understand that, and I will leave it
We
at
already
that.
went over this when we first started the show.
What? Oh
We
yeah,
already
I
went
know.
over.
Yeah, because you thought I was gay.
Yeah,
You thought I was white and I was gay because of my voice.
Well, I didn't think you were white. And
Yes,
I
you
was
did.
surprised.
Yes, you
All
did.
right, fine. I saw. Yeah, but I said according to your voice, it says what? You didn't know I was black? I said, well, that's fine, but I thought you were gay.
Yeah, yeah. You were like, he's black, he's straight. What? I can't help it if I have a slight lisp. Damn it! I've been dealing with it all my life. But anyway, like
Okay,
when we
so
were talking about,
all you
go ahead.
woke folks, leave us alone.
Yeah, for
So
yeah, yeah. I'm woke enough for the three of us, and we'll leave it at that. Yeah, politics has no bearing on this show, and we will leave it at that. Um, like what I was talking about in the previous segment, I decided just because I wanted to do something a little bit different, so I ran an Amazon character,
okay.
and it was okay. Um, there were a lot of uh, when you're going to cut your boob off so you can use your bow correctly jokes and things like that.
Wow, that's digging deep into history.
Isn't it though? And
Wow.
well, I was playing with a bunch of like 15-year-olds. What can I say? They're all in high
Still, I
school
mean,
and they're all
15
smart asses.
must have a high IQ, let me tell you.
But yeah, I mean, so yeah, I mean that's so like I said, when I get that, I have no problem playing either gender. I mean, I'm not gonna go way deep into it and try to actually be in the female mindset because I don't have a complete understanding of the female mindset, and I never will, just by sheer dint of what my gender when I was born. You know, no one can really, unless they've been there and been there, that you can understand the what the other half is thinking, so to speak. But I don't have a problem with doing either one. That doesn't make me, you know, if I've got like I said, if I have an idea with a character, I'm gonna roll with it. I mean, I've
If
played
to me,
multiple female characters throughout the 30 years I've been playing D&D, and I don't have a problem with it.
to me, if it doesn't matter whether the character is male or female, I'll play a guy.
Right.
If it matters, then I will play a woman. You want to weigh in on this, full on?
I've played different gendered characters my entire gaming career. Ever since I was a kid, I've played both genders. I've got half of my characters are female, half of my characters are male. All the ones that aren't robots.
Male or female robots?
Yes.
Oh, did
Okay.
you? Yeah, Tweaky's girlfriend. Never mind. Let's just leave that alone.
Don't worry about it.
But yeah, I mean, there was
I have a problem with it either way, and some of it was in my misspent youth as a misogynistic, hardwired teenager, preteen, and other parts of it were a little bit more mature and developed and basically professional in aspect and conduct. So, everybody's just like everybody has their power gaming phase. I've gone through, how to deal with all the different character aspects phase, and I don't mind that. I relish the challenge of the role playing in all different aspects. That's the same thing why when I play Star Wars The Old Republic, I'm an altaholic because I'm going to play every single character through every single aspect of both light side, dark side, all the romance options, male, female, all the different races, all the different classes, because they're different.
Yeah.
And you get a different experience out of each of those.
I agree with you 100%. That's why I do it. That's exactly why I do it, because, I mean, there was another game I played in for a very short amount of time where I played this half-elf mage thief, but she was really like flamboyant. She was, she was like a pseudo bard in a couple of ways, but she always like wore like really brightly colored clothing. And of course, the adventuring party she was with was like, okay, we need to either put her way up in advance so the monsters see her first, or we put her in the back so that she doesn't attract as much attention. And it was things like that. And I mean, yeah, I've full on put it exactly how I wanted to put it, just not, I just wasn't as eloquent as he was. It's just when it
Right.
comes down
You're
to,
welcome for the words.
yes, yes, it just comes down to, if I've got an idea for a character, I just, if I think of the character as female and she would do these things, or she would, it's a role playing challenge, I will go for it. It all depends on the DM I play under, of course. Because
Right.
I've done that with some DMs who are just like, they'll just look at me really weird, and I'm like,
Carry on.
what? I'm playing a female. A female, in my opinion, would say these things or do these things this way, rather than just being a testosterone driven male who sees things in front of him as something to kill, or something to eat, or something, or whatever. Yeah, and the DM didn't exactly understand what I was doing, but that's just how it is.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Mhm.
The only time I play female characters, not in the game, but in, like, say if I'm reading something, I'm doing a reading,
Mhm.
and there's female characters, I will just alter my voice a little.
Mhm. Which
I
is
don't
fine.
get, I don't get, I don't get, it just gets a little softer and things like that. But
Mhm.
I don't get ridiculous about it. Remember the days when some guy would, oh, I'm going to play a female character, and then he'd do these, like, he'd start prancing around
Yes, I've
and
seen that.
doing this high pitched voice.
Yes, I've seen that.
I says, the only time I told him the only time I've ever done a high pitched female voice was when somebody was running this asleep princess who woke up, and he let me play the princess, and I basically played them like a Monty Python, you know. Oh, it's been so long since I did that.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, those kind of things. And
Yeah.
that's the only time.
Well, yeah, comedy relief. I mean,
Yeah.
I've played characters like Princess Leia
Uh-huh.
in the first and second movies. Yeah, in
Right.
episodes 4 and 5. I've
But I
played them like Mary Crosby in the Ice Pirates, who's a parody of Princess Leia.
Right.
I mean, if it's fun if you do it right. If you're
Right.
doing it just sort of
But
as a
I've never.
role playing flavor thing, and you're not always trying to be like, well,
Ah,
this is how I see women, and
right.
that kind of ridiculousness. But
But
yeah,
I've never really played a woman in a role playing game, just because I never really thought about it.
right.
Nobody said, okay, this is a woman. I said, okay, it's a woman. I'll play it that way.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
It's just not something I think about. I'm sorry, I'm a guy.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a
Um,
dude, man. I
So
can't
in
do
all the
that.
times that you played the Slave Lords campaign, pre-generated characters, you never picked up the dwarf or the cleric.
Mhm. Yeah, the dwarf who's female
Those
and the
were both
cleric who's
female.
female. Yes.
I've never played the Slave Lords.
Oh well,
See,
I
you're
got
missing out.
something in store for you.
I've got 1 through 4 in a box in the garage
Yeah,
that I bought
I've
a long
Scourge of the
time ago.
Slave Lords. Don't make me go on roll 20, Glenn.
I mean, I didn't get the super module, but I got all 4 modules on it. But I never read it. I haven't had time. I haven't had time to read it, and
Mhm.
no, I never played it. I
Mhm.
ran through Keep in the Borderlands. Hey,
Well, who
but
hasn't? 50,000 times. But yeah, I mean, my whole thing is that if you can role play it correctly, if you're going after a certain thing, whether it's just a character you have in mind, or if you're just doing it as comedy relief, as long as you're not going completely overboard with what you're
right.
doing,
Because
yeah,
not only will you get the other females at the table angry, you'll get
yes,
all the gay and transgender people at the table angry.
yes,
I won't say that necessarily. We did have the rare female gamer back in the day when I started playing First Edition
hmm
as a, 6th or 7th grader in Germany with the DoD school system, and we took what gamers we could get, and there were a couple girls who were gamers, and we got into some really explicit shit. But again, that was back in my misogynistic teenager days.
Yeah.
Now, I have seen quite a few women play male characters to great effect.
Oh yeah. I mean, my ex-roommate played male characters, even though she tended to play them. Let's see, how should I put this? She would either pattern them after, because she was such a Street Fighter head, she would pattern them after certain characters. Like we played BattleTech one time with one of my other players, just, as a change of pace game. She played a mech warrior like Ken from Street Fighter, before the anime came out, and his personality was better established, but very aggressive. He basically role played him like he fought in the game. Very aggressive, very brash and in your face. And that's when I knew this person could role play her ass off, because she was really good at it. She's played a martial artist in one of my campaigns, who's like the martial artist who's like slightly bumbling but still gets the job done, sort of Maxwell Smart-ish, but not quite as slapsticky as Don Adams.
Jackie Chan-ish.
Yes, yeah, exactly. No, not even Jackie Chan. Like a half step below that. Say like Sammo Hung or something like that. She's played a cleric mage who was like this really, really quiet, unassuming kind of bookish kind of character. She's played a paladin, who was, trying to figure out his path in the world, and she also had a drow ranger who had a crush on him, played by another female, which I thought was interesting. And the funny part is they were playing it like Sally and Linus from Peanuts. where the one playing the drow ranger would say, "My sweet baboo," and she would say, "I'm not your sweet baboo." It was funny, but
Did the male ever kill the female's orc? She was going to kill. You owe me restitution.
No. Come on now, they were white. That wasn't gonna happen. But yeah,
they're white.
Yeah. Hey, you talking about restitution, but let's leave that alone. No politics.
No, that's from the Great Pumpkin.
Oh, you're right. I haven't seen the Great Pumpkin in years. You're right. I apologize.
It's okay.
But yeah, I mean, I've seen it on both sides of the table. I've seen some guys play females and play them decently. I've seen females play males and play them decently, as long as they didn't try to go with all the tropes, the stereotypes that each gender has for the other. It was fine.
Well, that's also part of the fun of it, is there are times when you just go, and again, this is the whole point of role-playing.
Yes.
You can try everything out.
Mm-hmm.
Try out all the hats and see which ones you can do well or choose to do well or like or whatever. Sometimes the tropes are fun.
Yes.
Sometimes the tropes are annoying. They can use them both to great effect.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid of it.
Yeah, I played a Zeltron in a Star Wars game. You know all
Male
about
or
that
female?
one. Yes. And I mean, it was a weird ass group. I mean, one of the other players was playing a Lepi, and it was funny because he would make all these crude jokes at her expense, but the way I played the characters, like, I'm not quite like that. Stop that,
Well,
and things like that. Go ahead.
When I was playing Living Force in the RPGA, I was the only one they'd let to play Gungan. And when I said I wanted to play Gungan, and it's described by Gungan, while they're playing, I had all eyes on me.
Of course.
When's he going to go goofy?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
when
look,
I can't. Jar Jar. Yeah.
I said I can't help it if they had a really bad ambassador. I'm sorry.
I
They're
agree.
a good race.
100%.
They're not horrible, and again, judging the entire Gungan race by Jar Jar Binks is judging the entire human race by Yahoo Serious.
That's fantastic. Full on. Can
Yeah.
I use that?
I borrowed it from someone else. Go for it.
Awesome.
Anyway, if you guys want to argue with us more about this, I know this is going to be the one show. It's going to be the one show where people are going to go,
Nah.
They
Well,
should end the show.
In this political climate, probably. But you want to know what? Bring it. I will deal with your closed-minded, misogynistic ass in email, and no one will ever know about it. So bring it.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, and you can bring it at thacoshammer@gmail.com.
Yes, indeed.
And we will go on to Magic Fingers.
Yes, we shall.
The White Wizard approaches.
There's no such thing as magic.
You're always were the better magician. You guys know that. But whatever your secret was, you have to agree. Mine is better.
Magic Fingers. Magic Fingers. Girdle of masculinity, femininity. Okay, it's not in my game at all. It is a magic item. It's one of those Gary's pissed at his players magic items.
Yes, I agree, 100%.
That's the only reason it's in there.
Yeah, because
like the deck of many things.
Mm-hmm, yeah, like, deck of many things. Yep.
It has the exact same utility.
The Rust monster.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Same thing.
So exactly. Yeah. I'm pissed at you, so I'm going to bork you as hard as I can. Yes. Okay. Quick description from the Encyclopedia Magica, Volume 2. This broad leather band seems to be a normal belt, but when worn, it immediately changes the sex of the wearer to the opposite gender. It then loses all power. There is no sure way to restore the character's original sex, although there's a 50% chance a wish might, and a powerful being could alter the situation. Now, this is the new thing. Check this out. Of these girdles, 10% actually neuter a wearer. They turn him into Littlefinger. Yeah, I never saw that part of it. I love these little addendums in the Encyclopedia Magica.
Does that mean if they turn you the other way, they stay the user?
Yes. No. I mean, no gender at all. No working. No working sexual parts. Yes.
You're a castrati.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. I'm trying to remember. I've never consciously put this item in a treasure hoard, although I could have done it to a grasping player who was trying to get me to give him a girdle of giant strength because his strength was only like a 12. And
there's one in the murder hole.
Awesome.
I don't doubt it. I have
assassins would totally use that.
Yes, it's the perfect disguise.
I don't use it, but I've seen it used in games.
It's in Tomb of Horrors, actually.
Yes.
It is. It's in a treasure hoard in the Tomb of Horrors, and I've had that. As a matter of fact, now I think about it, I had it happen. And I had the thing is that we were, like I said, power gaming in first edition, excuse me. And so my character, who was really high level, going through Tomb of Horrors by himself. That's how high in level he was. And and he put that girdle on, and the DM laughed at me when I did it and said, "Okay, well now your character Brian is now Brenna." And I said, "No, he's not, because I wish for I wish for Brenna to go back to Brian." And well, I didn't wish it that way, but you know what I mean. I had to word it in a way so that my DM didn't screw me further. And
you're now on a quest
50%.
to go seek the love of your life, Brian Brenna.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're going back.
He was evil enough to do something like that. It's true. But so that taught me, even though I should have known, that taught me that don't just automatically take magic items and put them on.
Well, time for an anecdote.
Go for it. I just did one. It's your turn.
I'm going to try. Well, this is only tangentially related. Have you ever seen the WB or whatever the CM show Justice League Action or the DC?
No, I can't.
That's the newest one. It takes a lighter stance on the Justice League, and I've watched clips on YouTube. There's this one where Superman has to fight Metallo.
Okay.
Which is that evil robot with the kryptonite that powers him.
Right, powered by kryptonite. Okay.
Which he's not afraid of Superman, and he's dying, and then Firestorm comes up. And he's got his little professor up by his side there saying, okay, we need you to turn that kryptonite to lead. And it's like, okay, do you remember the formula we talked about this? He's doing the whole spot, and he keeps turning into different types of kryptonite and different things. It's like Superman turns plaid, then he does this. He turned it into, I think it was gold kryptonite or whatever, turned him female.
Oh, that's awesome.
And Superman just looked at himself and said, I can work with this. And he punches out. And then he finally turned to lead and he changed back. And he just goes, do me a favor, don't tell Bruce. And Firestorm in the back is with he's already got his camera up. As he clicks send, I said, what?
That's awesome.
And on Facebook.
Yes, yeah.
He actually
and
kind of looked like Lois Lane in a Superman suit, which I thought he looked kind of hot. But anyway, but Lois is hot. So that's my anecdote about gender change. No, I don't like it because, like I said, it's a gotcha thing that Gary said because he's pissed off his players. Plus, I remember, back in the day, that was a big laugh. It's not a big laugh anymore.
No, I tend to agree. Not quite as much of a laugh as it was back in the early 80s.
Yeah, when you're 15 or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was actually part of the original pools in the pool room of B2, but if it wasn't, it was one of the pools I added or modified. Where I think there's one that does the gender swap, but I made one that did the whole basically like a reincarnation. That's right. I did one where it was you get reincarnated, could change your gender, could change your race, species, whatever, but it also magically alters everything you own into things suitable for your new whatever. This guy got turned into a baboon, and his magic items and spell book and everything, he was a magic user, got turned into a baboon, and his spell book got turned into baboon language.
That's hilarious.
Ooh.
And other things like that. But
wow. Don't you mean the pool room in B1, not B2?
Whichever.
Okay, because I remember there's a pool room
in Search of the Unknown.
Yes. The unknown. Yeah, that's true. Okay. I was just asking. I mean, I tend to agree with you, Glenn, and every DM who's I've seen or heard ever used it, either hearing their stories or seeing their posts on, message boards and so forth, it's a gotcha. It's an absolute
I've had characters
gotcha.
go looking for them intentionally to use weaponized on other things. I've had them go use them as components in the creation of other magic items.
That makes sense. It's fine as long as you don't put it on.
Well, yeah. Finding them with knowing what you found is the trick, because it's like any other cursed item. It's protected and concealed from scribing, scrying, legend lore, and other such things. Plus the fact that when you use it, it goes inert and is no longer a thing. So It's a one-charge item.
Yep.
It's a one-charge cursed item that can be front-loaded into your campaign somewhere and used at random or at deliberate malicious intent. Or deliberate humorous intent.
Yes.
Or malicious humorous intent.
That's a pretty nasty prank, but yes.
Especially if it's got the new script about the neutering on it, and the fact that, hey, I'm going to fix it with a wish. You'll have a 50% chance of fixing it with a wish.
Yep.
Go for it.
Yeah. Take your chance. Roll the dice and take your chances, because that's a coin flip if there ever was one.
Tis. Anyway.
And it's been highlighted in all kinds of other media. Of all kinds of other things have cropped up with the gender swap event happening to the hero or the adventurer in whatever they're doing, and they have to incorporate that in their new worldview. They learn some life lessons and they move on. And hope for a chance to swap back.
Yeah,
I mean,
episodes of Star Trek, episodes of Farscape, where they all got switched into different
yeah.
bodies. Yeah, you're exactly right, Full.
Remember the last episode, the Man Trap?
That was like one of the first ones. No, you're
The
thinking of Turnabout Intruder. That was the last episode of Star Trek where Captain Kirk swaps
with a woman who wants to kill
him because he seduced her and abandoned her in her view. But she was also very mentally unstable, which is why she didn't get away with becoming captain of the Enterprise.
You know what? I like Spock's brain.
Really?
I like it. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. If you look at it as something that as a funny episode, yes, I agree with you.
This could be on that episode. I'm surprised like Riff Tracks or Mystery Science Theater never did it,
because Paramount would sue them into oblivion.
Probably.
Or CBS would.
Because they've done TV shows before. They did the first Incredible Hulk episode, the Bill Bixby one.
Mm-hmm.
It was hilarious.
I'm not surprised by that. Because,
you wouldn't like me when I'm angry, and then they show explosion. He goes, yeah, he gets explosive diarrhea.
Excuse me. As you can tell, I'm not 100% yet. Laughing is bad.
It's okay. But anyway, let's tell people they can talk about this at thacoshammer@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm. Yep, for sure.
Or thereabouts, or on the street. I don't care. On the corner over there. Come out in the corner. Yeah. Anyway, let's go to Snipe Hunt.
Two fools who laugh at death. Do you know what horrors lie beyond that wall?
No.
Then you go first.
This world's divided into two kinds of people, the hunter and the hunted. And luckily, I'm a hunter. Nothing can ever change that.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
I'll swallow your soul!
Come get some.
Time for a Snipe Hunt. Snipe Hunt.
Tanari Marlith, Type 5 Demon. We're back with the Tanari.
Yes, we are. These are serious opponents. I mean, I've been looking at the stats for the last 10 or 15 minutes, and I'm just like, wow. You wouldn't want one of these as a blood enemy for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, only
ones
that are worse.
Welcome to the wonderful world of Kali.
Yes, exactly.
Last Christmas, you gave me your heart. You said Kali high, and it burst into flame. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Stats. Armor class. To start, armor class, -9. That's just to start. Okay.
And that's topless.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, pretty much naked. Looking at the Tony DiTerlizzi picture he has of a Merilith from the back. Yeah.
Remember, there's more to AC than just armor.
Yes, there's natural AC, like as you see here. Movement rate.
Okay, go ahead. Movement rate 15.
15. Hit dice 12. THACO of 9. Number of attacks per round 7. 7. That's at a THACO of 9. Damage is 4d6 from the tail and 6 weapons. And those weapons are more likely to be magical items. Let me see. What's that percentage chance? Let's see. They favor exotic swords and axes. The DM should assign specific weapons. 90% of them should be magical. 15% of those should be special. And Merilith cherish their weapons. If one is lost or stolen, the owner will go to great lengths to recover it. So yes, if the Merilith has a sword of sharpness or a vorpal sword and you somehow get it from
What do you mean, or?
What?
What do you mean, or?
Exactly.
No, seriously. When we square off against these things, it's and. It's like they have the sword of wounding, life-stealing, vorpal sharpness, possibly holding the axe of the Dwarvish lords, hammer of thunderbolts.
Yeah.
It's a brutal. If you kill them and survive, it's a great haul of loot. But
yes,
damn, you earned that shit.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know what? You know what's the AC? What's the hit dice?
12 hit dice 12, armor class -9. -9.
Excuse me. That's the second monster you've told me about that has a larger hit die.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that the only creatures that had anything above D8 were the Death Knights.
Oh no. These are standard D8s. These are standard D8s.
Oh, okay.
It just has 12 of them.
12 of them.
Oh,
yes.
12
not D12.
of them.
They're not 12 of them, not D12s.
Okay, but you said the Amazon's got D10 for hit dice.
Yeah,
Like, where do they get?
If you start playing with the Paragon rules, like you deal with the Paragon Marilith, she'll have D12 hit dice.
Yeah, she'll have
12
D12s.
of them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, which is bad.
Ouch, ouch, ouch.
Okay.
These are the kind of characters that you can't just. You can take these characters and you can power slam them through a chromatic orb or a chromatic wall, like I have dwarf balled my way through them before, and they'll be there to fight you on the other side.
And chances are they may not get hurt. They may not be hurt by it because they have magic resistance of 70%.
Okay.
And they need +2 or better weapons in order to be hit. They can never be surprised. Yeah. So
Old iron, bitches.
Yep. And not only that,
where you go to your demon lore.
Yep. Yeah. When you fight one straight up, you better be a martial artist who knows how to block.
No, what you need, and I've done this before on my monks. You need a bow stick with a silver tip on one end and a iron tip on the other.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And enchanted. Remember, enchant that to +2, by the way.
No, that's your fist.
And then you shape change yourself into a quickly and cast haste on yourself.
Oh my god!
Now you might keep up.
Maybe
you land those fist and foot attacks. That counts as a magical weapon right there. So.
Okay. Combat. The Marilith can constrict with its deadly tail along with attacking 6 times around with the weapons they have. If the tail hits in combat, it wraps around a victim to crush the life out of him. The tail inflicts 4d6 points of damage, crushing damage, and drives the breath from a victim. Once constricted, the victim automatically takes 4d6 damage per round. Additionally, Additionally, the trapped creature must make a con check every round or fall unconscious. No opponent with less than 15 strength can even hope to break free of the coils. Each round there is a 10% chance per round per point of strength over 14 the victim can escape. So yeah, you better be strong in order to break out of that. Now, that's just the physical combat aspects. They have spell powers available to all Tannerai.
Oh, this is the snake lady. Okay.
Yes, snake lady.
This is the 6-armed snake lady.
Yeah, this is the one. These are the ones that the greater Medusae bow to.
These are the generals in the Blood Horde.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
All right. They have animate dead, cause serious wounds, cloud kill, comprehend languages, curse, detect evil, detect magic, detect invisibility, polymorph self 7 times per day, mind you. So yeah, trying to hunt one of these things down when it's changing shape every so often, bad idea. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah. It's like okay. I would.
Yeah, project image.
I would like to see a fight, a closed room fight between this and a Rakshasa.
It would eat it.
Yeah, the Marilith would kill it easily.
I mean, you saw the shape-shifting thing, and it's like, you got to meet this guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be like Mad Madam Mim and Merlin having their fight.
Yep.
It would be exactly like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Except a whole lot more bloody.
Yeah, a whole lot more vicious, a whole lot more bloody. It's very true. Let's see. Project image, pyrotechnics, and telekinesis. With the exception of polymorph self, they can use each one of these once per day. They can also gate in 2 to 20 least Tannerai, 1 to 6 lesser Tannerai, or 1 to 4 greater Tannerai, or 1 true Tannerai once per hour with a 35% chance of success. So yeah, these are the ones that if you don't want to go so far as put them up against a Balor, which are another step, which are another step stronger than these. Yeah, these are the ones that would be in charge of the demons who are trying to get on the prime material plane and so forth. These are the ones you would have to deal with. If you kill a Marilith on the Prime plane, you get 23,000 experience points. If you kill it in the Abyss, it's 230,000.
Because you're on her home turf.
On her home plane, yeah. You kill her on her home plane, she is gone forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that of course is tough because yeah, you've got to have the magical power, the physical power to take one of these things on and actually beat it. Because
Right.
yeah, if you are fighting one of these things on the Abyss, you got major problems. I think that gate would be automatic on the Abyss. It's not 35%. That's only on the Prime plane. If you they'll gate stuff in, and then you got to deal with that and whatever it's gated in. Yeah, not fun.
Which can also gate other things in. So it's a cumulative, spontaneously, exponentially growing problem. Which is why even if you're fighting them in the ruins of Mistranor, where I have, they are one of the major problems.
Yes.
And you do not want to underestimate what you're getting into when you chase one of these suckers down.
Which is funny because I've seen a couple of AD&D adventures that have one of these in close to the end. They're not the end boss, but they are very close to it. And yeah, they can this one being could probably take apart a 7th or 8th level party without really breaking a sweat. Just because yeah, the 7th or 8th level party would have all kinds of trouble just hitting this thing in combat and trying
and
to
just
get
think
stuff.
about all those awesome wizard spells or cleric spells that have no effect on creatures over X hit die.
Correct.
The sucker's at 12.
Yes, correct.
There are a whole lot of go-to power moves that mages and clerics want to use that are going to be useless here, even before you get to magic resistance. She's just going to laugh at you and then stick you with about 3 or 4 different flaming swords, frost brands, swords of sharpness, life stealing, sword of venom, at the same time.
Yes.
Now, if we could just cut some of those arms off.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Called shots. But then now you're effectively trying to hit what, armor class -13.
Now I have been on the other side of this fight, and the evil cleric who has summoned the Marilith, who has the mage at beck and call, drops the haste spell on the Marilith.
Ooh.
One of those swords the Marilith is using is the short sword of quickness.
Oh, gee. So she can attack first in the round. Yes.
And you're just it's a slithering blade barrier.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's an intelligent blade barrier.
Yep.
Yes. This is why this is why I don't want to play in any of your games. I've lost the power gaming gene.
What?
I've lost
I
it.
would not put this against a 10th level party.
Stop the madness.
Maybe a 10th level party. I wouldn't put it against a 10th level character.
No, not one. Yeah, get eaten for lunch, literally. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I mean, I could see like a 12th or 13th level party going up against something like this, and depending on what happens as far as its attempts to gate in other Tannerai to help it fight that party is whether the party is going to either have a really tough time of it, it's going to come down to the last few hits, or
first spell you throw is planar lock.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, prevent that gate spell going off. Yeah, I agree 100%. Jeez.
Yeah, but she isn't in here with us now. We're in here with her.
Oh my goodness gracious. So yeah, these are.
Then you turn on that 25 charisma and say, "So, how you doing?"
Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
All right, folks. You want to talk about this? You want anything? oldmangrogan@gmail.com and a phone number. oldmangrogan@gmail.com. I'll say it again if you want. oldmangrogan@gmail.com.
Incorrect, sir.
THACO's hammer at gmail.com.
Thank you.
About time somebody else pulled the weight. But anyway, And we have a phone number, 405
806-0555.
Okay, yeah, it's getting late.
Yes,
This is one of those we're going to do a show come hell or high water days.
Yeah. Well, thank God the Tylenol kicked in.
Yes. All right, that closes the Splat book, so I guess we should be on our merry way. So say goodbye, Full-On.
Goodbye, Gamer Nation. I am northbound and down. See you on the other side of New York and environs. If you see the truck with all the lights inside it, not outside it, that's me. See you on the other side, Gamer Nation.
Okay, Brian?
That's a big 10-4.
Short and sweet. Okay. And I'm Glenn, and I'll see you guys next time the hammer comes down on THACO's Hammer.
THACO's Hammer theme is provided by the Diablo Swing Orchestra. You'll find them on Jamendo.com. All other additional music for this episode was provided by Kevin MacLeod. You'll find more of his music on Incompetech.com. Be sure to visit our website at thacoshammer.info. If you have any questions or comments, email us at thacoshammer@gmail.com. Remember, that's an O, not a 0. You can also find us on the second edition forums at osrgaming.org and at purpleworm.org. Or give us a call and leave us a voicemail at 405-806-0555. See you next time when the hammer comes down on THACO's Hammer.